It's 7 o'clock. This is the Personnel and Finance Committee meeting of the City of Brainerd. Everybody's present. Item number 1 on the agenda is the approval of bills. Is there any questions?
Move to approve.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 2, Park Office Roof Repair. We've got a pretty good discussion of that in our packet, but Mr. Saylor is here if you want to add anything.
Not really. I did go over this really in close detail today with Tim Cahy, the building inspector, and it is pretty much apples to apples, but they're different flavored apples a little bit. I mean, there's just a little tweaks here and there, but Tim did recommend if we do move forward on this, going with the low bid, and he thought this will work for the time being. None of the bid proposals that we received address the insulation on the inside of the building. Tim does think that if we did put the membrane on this year, it'll stop the water coming into the building. It'll stop the ice dams. And then we can look into the insulation at a later time. But we kind of thought that we should maybe do something with it before winter hits, and we get the same problem we had last year.
We're not going to wreck the new roof by not doing
No,
this.
this is put totally over the top of it. There's nothing taken off, nothing.
No, I meant as far as not fixing the
Oh,
insulation.
the new roof.
Yeah.
He does not believe one winter is going to cause a problem. If we left it that way, it's going to deteriorate faster. There might be more problems, but he thinks one winter it's not going to be an issue.
The insulation is accessible from the underneath.
Understood, but if it's still allowing heat to escape up through the insulation, through the old roof, which is what wrecked. I won't say what wrecked it, because I think there's probably a little bit of age. And what kind of roof is that?
It's a metal.
Metal roof?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's a combination of two buildings, it's not just one solid roof.
Yeah, and one of the leak is where the office meets the shop, so to speak. It goes from a metal roof to a shingles type roof, a stick structure.
Okay, so the whole thing will be covered with rubber.
Just the metal portion.
Okay, so where they come together, there's a potential for issues still, correct?
There is.
There's
I
no
would
flashing
imagine.
there.
There is no flashing, but they, I'm sure, would be installing that. I'm not an engineer, and I'm not.
I know, because that was, I guess, a couple of questions,
Yeah, yeah.
because I talked to Tim in great
Yeah.
length today too, because after you guys had talked, there was just, I didn't feel comfortable with, they were vastly different, these bids, because some actually included the square footage, some included the membrane. This summary sheet didn't have the membrane, but this first proposal didn't actually specify the membrane, and I didn't want to be caught, you know, later on to say, hey, that wasn't included, there's a $1,200 difference, you know, pay up, and then really they're only $800 apart, you know, where the other one was very specific. So kudos to both of you for going over that in great detail, and he said he was going to follow up with you and make sure that it actually is included and specified in this bid.
I did receive that from them today.
Good.
I did get them to specify it. I have it in writing here that
Okay,
it is
great.
a 45.
And that it is included in this bid with this roofing system.
Correct,
Okay,
correct. He said
great.
we could go 60, but it's going to cost us more.
Sure. Of course, it all does.
What's that?
I said it always does.
Well, of course, yeah. But I do have that in writing. I just received it this afternoon. It is 45 mil for the low bid.
I guess I was under the impression it was where the two buildings were joining that was the greatest problem.
That is where there's some leaking in the hallway right next to my office.
Yeah.
The carpet keeps getting wet and we can't see where's it coming from. Where we had the big water containers catching the water was all in the shop area. And that was from the ice jams, and it was forcing that water back in underneath the metal roof, and that's where it was coming in. From what I understand on this, from what I hear from Tim, is that this will stop that ice jamming.
Okay.
And thus the water isn't going to kick back in underneath the roof. But we still would have to address the insulation to stop the amount of heat loss we're having.
Yeah. And then, you know, and I guess I would think with a metal roof, we could almost look at spray foam and maybe make it later a hot roof. It seems to be structural and a better product, but we kind of already know what the price of those are anyway. So.
That is what we've been discussing is the spray foam in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And the cost on that, I have no idea yet. We'd have to go out and get bids on that or quotes.
It's 90 cents a square foot per inch,
Okay,
but you'll go 3 inches, I'm sure, at least.
okay.
So, well then my only other concern would be, you know, I don't know if we would want to do something, you got to do something in regards to where the two buildings come together. I don't know if we ask for another bid for adding, you know, flashing between the two buildings, put cable, you know, heat cables there to prevent ice dams from forming there. I mean, that's something we can do, and it's a $40 fix in the meantime, but still, some, is it, maybe?
Dolly, when it says ED or EPDM flashing,
Yeah.
what's that?
That's
Is
for
that
the
flashing?
metal, that's for the metal roof though, that's not where the asphalt shingles are. Where the two buildings come together, there's no flashing where that where the office building is meeting the original building, the metal building. So the shingles would have to be pulled back, flashing put back, and the shingles put back on.
So are you saying you want new quotes?
No, because this is just, that's why I was asking, this one didn't specify, I thought the whole building was getting done, and this one said it was only 4,100 square feet, and you're clarifying that it's just the metal portion with just the metal roof that's getting done,
Yes.
not over the office, and that's what was unclear to me. That's why we looked. Does that make sense?
Absolutely it does. That's why,
But didn't you just say that, though, that we need
We should-
another quote? So
We
should
should
we
do
get
something for the flashing on the
it all
asphalt
done at
shingles.
once? Wouldn't you prefer that, or?
That would be my preference, because you're still gonna have damming, you're still gonna have leaks if you don't get that portion fixed.
Now,
And I don't-
it does say flashing at walls and penetrations. Is that
Well, that's why,
addressing that issue?
and that's where I don't know that for sure, because I didn't actually talk with them, and that's why I wondered if we provided the specs. I know you met with each one of them as they came out, so that's, I'm kind of leaving it into that, you're gonna tell us that that's what they are actually quoting us.
there is a simple way.
Uh-huh.
This is a recommendation, not from Mr.
Yeah.
Saylor, but from Mr. Cahy. I figure I mean, you almost gotta give the guy a little benefit. He's not here, but one way we could do this is to approve the recommendation based on Tim coming and clarifying some of these things. Are we gonna have good point, Dolly,
Yeah.
are we gonna have are we gonna just wreck something or not fix the roof? I understand the insulation we're gonna set up, but on the other side of the coin, if we're up there roofing, is that point of penetration going to be taken care of at the same time? It makes sense to do that. I don't have a problem approving this with that
Yeah,
clarification being made, and if, you know, and I still wouldn't even reject the fact that we have to fix this thing. But I think Dolly's right. I'd like to know the total cost of at least the roof, and maybe it is included in his. I gotta believe it is, only because I have faith with what Tim's abilities are. But maybe he's taking it for granted that that's a separate repair, and the rest of us don't know, except for you who know.
No, I just wanted clarification,
No,
and you did a very nice job, and I appreciate the follow-up on actually making sure that membrane is in there. I just don't want to be caught off guard, that's all.
Right, no, I think you bring up a great point.
Could I also ask, is this, I mean, it's past the 30 days for, this balance due. Is there a timeline? I guess I was trying, because this was given to us on July 30th. Usually they don't go for 9 years.
Yeah, I believe each, I thought I saw there each was for 30 days, I believe.
Well, this is balance due within 30 days, not that it's good for 30
okay.
days. So I'm just making sure you're comfortable that these quotes are good.
Yes,
Okay.
just saying.
And then I just have the question is where were you going to pay for this from?
Well, that was the next thing, is we blew everything that we have in our contingency fund on the water tower, correct?
We're
Although we
well
did-
over that, yeah.
But
Yeah, yes.
we didn't spend that, though. I mean,
Yeah, we did just get a,
It's
We
going to be
did,
lower than what they initially thought.
it was, but it was well over the contingency dollar amount that you had in reserve, or budgeted, I think. What do we have budgeted?
37,000.
37,000, I thought,
7,000,
yeah.
there would be that in there, but then that would, I'd have to look for sure. I thought there was 60-some thousand that was unencumbered, not including the water tower. So if you take out 40,000, you have about 36,000 left in there.
Yeah,
Take
I
out
just-
40,000 for,
The water tower.
yeah. But that bid just got reduced to 8 correct?
10 and some more. They were just talking about it
But it's not
upstairs.
gonna be 40,000.
And I think though that there's additional amount coming in. So just say 40,000 in total, we would have still about 26,000 left in that fund.
Which is enough to pay for this roof. We don't have anywhere else to take it from.
Right, I absolutely agree.
And I don't know if letting it go another year is a good idea. We have a lot of stuff that we can let go, kick the can down the road, I think is the terminology we're using. But it always seems to cost us more when we don't fix it. I don't see, I don't see how we can afford not to fix this thing. Unless we want to get another building.
Well,
I'm
it's
all
certainly
for that.
better than the 100,000 that we were originally
Oh, for
thinking.
sure.
So,
Well, the $100,000 that we have budgeted for 15 includes insulation, the whole ball wax, but we knew that was high, or we estimated that was high, because we had no quotes when we were working on that.
sure.
Okay, so, any further discussion? Is there a motion to
I-
approve the recommendation based on Tim Cahy clarifying that this satisfies all the roof needs without the insulation and the money to come from the contingency
I
fund,
would
which
make that
should be
motion.
26,000. Second, any
Second.
further discussion? All in favor, yes?
Basically, you want to clarify the flashing between where the two buildings meet.
Correct.
What it means by walls, you know.
Yep, okay.
No. If there's anything else he thinks he should clarify, I'm willing to listen. Okay.
Okay.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. Anything else, Mr. Commander in Chief?
No, sir.
All right. Then we are adjourned until, for 4 minutes.